Welcome to Communication and AAC with me, KSLP. Let's talk about what it feels like to be dysregulated. I have sensory differences and wanted to share pieces of my story. The way I dress is completely dictated by my sensory differences. I hate wearing shoes and socks. I don't know how to explain it other than it makes my feet feel claustrophobic. The first thing I do when I get home is make sure that my shoes and socks are off. Another issue I have are the tags in my clothes. Sometimes I can handle it, but there's times throughout the day where it bothers me so much I have to rip them out. I actually just started buying clothes that don't have tags. Like tags, sleeves on a shirt are also very bothersome. Women's t-shirts have shorter sleeves that are tight, and it's just a nails on a chalkboard feeling for me. I wear t-shirts that are a little baggier where the sleeves are longer and also give you more room. I have clothes that feel right sensory wise 99% of the time. But there are days where I'm just more sensitive and nothing feels good. Everything feels awful. Another sensory difference that I have are the ways that noises affect me. Loud noises like the fire alarm during a fire drill aren't just loud to me, they are painful. Like I feel physical pain. This is for any noise that is very loud, like out of the norm. Another issue I have with noise is on the complete opposite side of the noise spectrum. Really soft noises like whispering. For some reason, I can't filter out whispering with other sounds like normal talking. So it just leaves me competing with trying to hear the whispering or soft sound and also hearing what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. This causes me a lot of anxiety. The final example, and if I'm being honest, probably the hardest one to deal with on a day to day basis, is when someone gives me too much information at once. When that happens, it feels like everything around me is going super fast, and all the words from the directions of the information just blur together, and I can't make meaning of it. Sometimes noises are painful. I have an aversion to certain textures, and some might surprise you. I hate the way that slime feels. I can't handle it on my hands. It's just gross. I also hate the texture of jello and the way it goes down my throat. Ugh. Finally, jeans have always been so hard for me to understand why they bother me. And then I realize it's because where the seams all come together, I can feel that texture and it is awful. Sometimes textures are just gross. The final example I'll give are how crowds affect me, even during fun things like an amusement park. It just becomes overwhelming. I can feel everyone brushing past me. There's too many sights, too many sounds, too many just tactile feelings. It's just not a pleasant experience for me when it's too crowded. Another example is like at an assembly. It ends up just being too many people talking all at once. I feel like everyone's all around me, and it's just not a great experience. Finally, the one that probably affects me most in my social life is being at places like a restaurant. I do not like being around a long rectangular table because it's too hard to follow conversation. I prefer being at either a round table or a square table where I can see everyone that I'm talking to and follow a conversation easily. If not, I get very overstimulated by all the noise and conversation going on. Sometimes crowds are pure chaos. My only priority when I'm dysregulated is to make the bad feelings stop. That's all I'm focused on. When I'm dysregulated, it can manifest as physical symptoms. I will turn pale at times and become sweaty. I'll get nauseous or a stomach ache. My head will pound with too much going on. And sometimes I can feel like everyone's just too close and I need to get out as soon as possible. So let's use this information in the context of children who might not know how to regulate or can't regulate. Dysregulation is going to lead to behavior. I use strategies in my life to help me cope with dysregulation. Anything that has moving lights and calm, soft music or sounds really helps me regulate. Sometimes I just need to walk away and sit in silence for a few minutes in order to regulate as well. The behaviors that you see are most likely the child dealing with the bad sensory feelings. Other strategies that work for me are deep pressure, wearing baggy clothes when I can. If I'm in social situations, I might take a break, especially if they have pets, and play with their dog or pet their dog to help me calm down. When I'm in a really crowded restaurant or something like that, I'll use an app called This Is Sand, which has falling colorful sand that is visual and just helps me calm down and kind of get away from the chaos for a little bit. So, just something to think about. When you see a child, quote unquote, misbehaving, take a second to think, does the child need help regulating?